Greetings. It's the day before the Trailmakers Airborne update and DLC, and I am bored, I guess. So I said, why the hell not? I should record a little bit of a video showcasing some of the planes that I've built before the update hits, and perhaps I'll make one afterwards talking about what modifications I can make to my build style when all of the new blocks from the update have been thoroughly explored. The first plane I'm going to showcase is the F-16 Viper. It's the last plane I built, incidentally. I built it like 2 days ago at this point. And it's the last plane I will build before the update hits. And it's a plane I'm quite happy about. Of course, there's a little bit of logic showing at the bottom. But, that's okay. It's got okay maneuverability. It flies pretty straight. It has a few issues with the fact that when it's at slower speeds, it wants to do different things than when it's at higher speeds. It wants to nose up or down at lower speeds. But that's fine. I can deal with that. And I will probably revisit it in the future. See if I can polish it up a little bit. Make it a little bit better. There's always things I can think about. Yeah. It's got weapons, obviously. Those will soon become obsolete, but generally, I'm quite happy with how it flies and how it maneuvers and how it looks. I'm actually really happy with how it looks. It's the closest I've ever got an F-16 looking to the real life counterpart. Now, let's land back on the carrier and let's pull out a different plane. Let's go for the F-14, the Tomcat, the trusty fighter jet of the century, I guess. It's not the correct length or shape, I guess. It's supposed to be a little bit shorter. It's supposed to be a little bit stumpier. But it flies really well. It definitely flies a lot better than most of the ones I've seen around in different servers, which is what I'm aiming for mostly. I want the planes to look good, yes. I also want them to fly well. I want to be able to dogfight in them. I don't want them to feel like they're extremely heavy. So I try to thread that line between something that's working efficiently and looking quite good as well. As for its features, which, the F-14 is known for having a wing sweep variability, which can be implemented, as you can see. And another fun part about this is that I've added some logic gates into it to enable a split throttle. So I can yaw effectively. And this helps a lot when dogfighting planes with vectored thrust and other tricks up their sleeve that I might not be able to keep up with unless I activate a few tricks of my own. Yeah. I haven't got any weaponry on this yet mainly because I tend to put my weapons underneath the wings because otherwise they're going to hit the cockpit and the front of the plane. And I don't want that to happen, but I can't because the wings are angled and therefore a little bit not helpful. But, old weapons become obsolete. updates are made, I will be able to add things that can turn to face the enemy and shoot at it once the update hits. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, let's turn split throttle off. Let's take this in for a landing, and let's see what other planes are on the list. The next plane, if the build mode will cooperate, is the Sukhoi 35, I believe. Yeah, yes, that is exactly what this is modeled after. It maneuvers very smooth right here. Like, I don't know what it is about this plane that I've made in particular, but I really like flying it. And, well, one of the reasons I will show shortly, because it does have a few features that are integrated, but I do just enjoy flying it around like this. So it has guns, because obviously, why wouldn't it? And the other feature is this. It has vectored thrust. It's not multi-directional vectored thrust, it's just one axis, but it does that serviceably, and it has assistance for yaw. It doesn't need assistance for roll, obviously, but it has some yaw assistance to give it the hyper maneuverability feel. I have one helicopter engine in there just to add in the extra oomph that it needs to move, you know, to out dogfight people around the servers in multiplayer. It's a lot of fun to fly. Sometimes you can feel like a helicopter, like you can just hover in like midair like this. Here we go. Yeah, so basically when you're doing these kinds of maneuvers right above the water and the enemy is trying to get you, it can feel a little bit unfair that you're just hovering here and baiting them to take a dive into the ocean. You're just waiting for them to go for a drink in the sea. The next build is going to be the Sukhoi 35's older brother. This is the Sukhoi 57. It is the Felon. The previous one was the Flanker. This one also flies pretty well. It's not as satisfying as the Flanker to fly. Definitely not. I would say it feels a little bit heavier. It's because it technically is. It has a few more blocks in there holding it down. This one also has guns and also has super maneuverability. Its super maneuverability is a little bit less efficient than the other one. The Flanker had, well, it had rotating servos on the thrusters to help it maneuver like that. This one just has hinges, and so the hinges turn slower. They're less responsive than the thrusters, which leaves me a little bit dissatisfied. But if I want to make the thrusters angled as they are, and if I want to make the tail of the plane look the way that it does, I have no space to fit thrusters or to fit rotating servos in it, which is perfectly fine, I guess. It's serviceable, it does the job, it looks the part, and if I need it to dogfight somebody, I can. My aim when dogfighting is never to kill anybody, it's mostly just to evade the enemy bullets, because I'm not that good of a pilot that I can point the nose of my plane at somebody and shoot them out of the sky. I more so enjoy the dance. So I like doing a lot of this and just roaming around and stalling out and waiting for them to fly past me, and, you know, just doing an elaborate deadly dance in the sky until I either bait them into falling into the water or I can get shot out of the sky. Yeah. This is supposed to be a Mustang. P51? I think I have that correct. It's supposed to be, I say, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to make a new one at some point. I'm not very happy with the back of the plane, and with the update bringing integrated flaps into wing pieces and stuff, I can make this a lot more maneuverable, a lot less problematic to fly. It's kind of slow. It's kind of disappointing at this point. I can also add the big new propeller at the front. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And then the last plane I will showcase, I guess, is this Corsair. F4U Corsair? I don't remember the exact specifics of the name, but that's also fine. It's got... well, it's basically the Mustang, but with different shapes on it. It's got more rounded tail fins and stuff. It has more guns, because I was trying to mimic the actual Corsair, which has a whole bunch of guns on the wings. I got the angled wings to work well. I'm happy about that. I also, again, want to put the giant 3-pronged propeller at the front of this, because that will be very, very cool. It has the guns, and I've programmed them to be able to do two things, which is one is the Gatling gun rapid fire kind of thing, and the other, if I can get my plane straight and not facing up, is a kind of a shotgun, which I guess I wanted to add it, so I just did. It takes more logic blocks than is necessary, and it's really not that efficient. It's probably just better to keep with the Gatling gun kind of thing. This is probably less problematic and, like, you know, more problematic for the enemy, but less problematic for you. Also, it's a bit twitchy on its controls, and yeah. Again, the update will bring new pieces that will work better, and I will be able to make modifications to this until it's actually working well, which I'm excited about. And there you go. These are the planes that I have, or, well, not all of the planes, but most of the planes that I've made right before the update hits, and I am excited for the future of the game to see where we're going, really. I will end off the video by showing you this thing, which will most likely be flying around in a lot of servers, especially in the campaigns, because I like it a lot, and I'm going to use it to fly around and annoy people as much as I can. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. These are my planes, and I will see you in the future.